Day after Thanksgiving, 2002, and Jacob Green is going to ask his great Aunt Muriel a number of questions about what she believes and what she saw growing up. So go ahead, Jacob, take it away.
When and where were you born?
I was born November 29th, 1925 in Atlantic City, New Jersey.
What did your parents do for a living?
My mother didn't work, but my father was a taxi cab driver.
Can you hear? Are you close enough for it?
Where did he taxi
I can
to?
really hear.
Around Atlantic City.
How was your school different from my school?
Well, I'm not familiar with your school, but my first school was in Philadelphia, because we moved back there when I went to kindergarten, and it was an old house. And the principal's office was in the living room, and the bedrooms upstairs were the classrooms, and we didn't have a bathroom, we had an outhouse in the backyard.
What was your favorite subject and why?
My favorite subjects in class? Well, English was always my favorite subject,
Why?
because I like the English language.
What did you and your friends play at recess?
At recess? Well, we played Mother May I, and we used to play rope and double rope, and we used to skate on our roller skates with a key that opened it, and we liked to bicycle.
How did you get to and from your school?
Walked.
Did you eat lunch at school?
No, usually came home for lunch.
Was it good?
My mother was a good cook, so it was always good.
What did you have?
Peanut butter sandwich, egg salad sandwich, tuna fish, things like that.
Who were your best friends?
Growing up, my best friend across the street was Flossie Jacobs. And then there was a girl named Miriam who played piano. Those were my two best friends.
What did you play after school?
After school, well, we played mostly what I told you we played on the playground, I guess.
Okay. Did your friends do anything weird?
What do you mean by weird?
I mean, weird, crazy.
Crazy things? I don't think so. We pretty much were
Did they do anything
Good.
funny?
funny.
Yeah,
Funny things?
Crazy.
Well, we used to play, we had a game that we played on the front steps. We had 3 concrete steps because all the houses were attached in Philadelphia. And there was one boy that we called Jinx. And he used to sit on the top of the steps, and every time we threw the ball, he yelled, "Jinx! Jinx!" Because we used to get points according to which step we wanted to hit. And he was called Jinx.
What do you like?
Okay.
Do you want
Did you play any sports?
do a few with green pepper?
Played,
I had some.
a form of softball.
Did you play any musical instruments?
No, I did not.
Did you win any prizes or awards?
Prizes or awards? I can't recall. Oh, for spelling bees, yes, I used to win prizes for spelling bees.
Did you have any brothers and sisters?
One sister, your grandmother, Ruthie.
The sandwich tomorrow? That's for Andrea on the plane.
Oh.
So I put it to Becky.
What was her
Mommy
last
set
name?
up for, is that Becky?
Her last name was the same as my last name, which was
Mommy
Zimmer.
set up for, Mommy set up. And then you set a plank there.
Were
for
you
to put it on.
older or
What did you
younger?
say, Mom? There's
Younger.
a plank there. Yeah,
Did you
I know,
get
I
along
know.
with her at all time? Anytime?
Pretty much,
Did you play any tricks on each other?
yes.
What did you do?
I don't know if I should tell you.
Tell me.
Well, I used to like to tease her a lot.
Like,
And we didn't have television, we had a radio. And at night, there was a show called The Shadow. The Shadow Knows. I think they made a movie out of it recently. And we had stairs, and one night, it was on at 8 o'clock, I put a sheet over my head and put my arms out in front of me and walked down the stairs, and I start yelling, "The shadow knows!" And Aunt Ruthie got so scared, she was crying and laughing, and I didn't know what to do because my mother and father weren't home. So I went upstairs and I had a bucket of water and I threw it over her head to stop her from screaming.
Okay. So what did you want to be when you grew up?
I really wanted to work for the newspaper. That was my big dream.
What was your very first job?
My first job was working, well, I worked in the 5 and 10 when I was in my teens.
What's the 5 and 10?
Everything in the store was either 5 cents or 10 cents.
Okay.
It was Woolworths.
What was your first car? First car.
My first car? My first car, I was 28 years old, and I had a 39 Plymouth Hot Rod with three mufflers that came out of it, one on the side and 2 in the back that made a lot of noise.
How did you pay for it?
Well, the car was so cheap, I think they wanted to give it away, so it didn't cost very much.
Did you go to college?
I went to junior college.
Where?
Pierce College it was called, in San Fernando Valley.
How did you meet your husband?
I met him through a friend,
When and where?
1946.
Was it love at first sight?
Gosh, you're getting personal. We were infatuated with each other.
What kind of kid was your mom?
What kind of kid was my mom?
And dad.
Well, I didn't know them when they were kids.
What kind of kid was your dad, Jacob? That's what the question is. Your dad
Oh.
or your mom?
Oh. What? Never mind. How did you? What kind of kid was my dad?
Your dad was a very happy kid, always intelligent, always thinking things out before he answered anybody, liked all the health foods, and I really enjoyed being with him.
Did he do anything crazy?
If he did, I wasn't aware of it.
Dad, did you do anything crazy?
Was he a bad kid?
No, he was a good kid.
Did you make good grades in school?
Yes.
How in your life different from what you imagined it would be when you were younger?
That's a tough question. How was your life different from what you... I guess I thought it would be more like the fairy tales, where everything was perfect, and everybody was perfect, and everybody was happy, and living happily ever after. But life is not like that.
What is your work or was your work?
Well, I wore 2 hats mainly. I was a medical transcriber for doctors and in hospitals, as well as a travel agent. And I enjoyed it very much, both of them.
Is there something that you always wanted to do but did not do it? What?
Well, I've accomplished pretty much everything I wanted to do in life. Not to say there isn't more, but essentially I'm pretty happy with everything I've done.
What are your favorite things to do after work?
Well, I don't work anymore, I'm retired.
Do you have anything special, any special talents or abilities?
What do you think? I like to cook.
That's talent.
Sure, it takes talent to cook. I like to be with you and your brother and your sister and your dad and your mom. I like people. I like being around people and having fun,
Okay.
mainly.
Have you ever met any famous person?
Yes.
Who? How? When? And where?
Well, we came out to California, 1944, September, and I remember my dad going to a gas station, and there was Clark Gable pumping gas, and I still have a picture of him.
Who's Clark Gable?
He was a famous movie actor. He played in Gone with the Wind with Vivian Leigh and a lot of other pictures, Marilyn Monroe.
What is your favorite kind of music?
My favorite kind of music, I like reggae music, jazz. I like jazz,
Why?
and I like a little bit of hip hop
Why?
because it gets the body moving and snapping your fingers.
Who is your hero? And why?
My hero. That's a hard question. My heroes could be the astronauts. I don't know anyone in particular.
Your mom, your dad,
And
someone?
anyone that made groundbreaking
I mean-
progress in science, in the science field.
I mean,
I
did you have
admire
any
him.
heroes in life that you really like? Like your mom, your dad, somebody in particular?
Heroes in life.
Your husband, your son.
I don't know, I have a lot of heroes. Anyone I admire was a hero in my eyes.
In the world, in the whole world, who would you like to meet and why?
In the whole world. Who would I like to meet? Well, I could say some leaders of countries, or I would like to meet President Clinton. I've always been a great admirer of his.
Okay. If people could only remember one thing about you, what would it be?
Making them happy.
Now, Dad.